And that countdown signifies our invitation to you to say, join us. 25 years of impactful journalism, great content, and just exactly that time, 25 years ago, Joy FM, the main subsidiary that has birthed all these other strong brands, came into being. And it's that time that we all became part of the multimedia family. And with a nostalgic flashback, you would also say that this has given birth to great personalities who have graced the media landscape and through their instrumentality also supported businesses to become great brands across Ghana. We say thank you for all the good work that you do. And talking about compliment, we also have to say thank you to our frontliners. And today being May 1, which is May Day, it looks appropriate. They have been relentless. They have been fearless and caring in their bid to overcome a daunting task. They are phenomenal in the fight against coronavirus. So join the multimedia group as all of us this morning by 8:19, we celebrate them. We have to say thank you. And join us wherever you are as you clap, whether you're driving. And if that is what you're doing, make sure you honk. And let's also make some noise to appreciate the frontliners. So join us on radio, TV, social media, on ground, in your homes, if you're working as one of those frontliners, in your offices, and you're driving at the time, 19 minutes past the hour of 8. Let's all of us, wherever we find ourselves, cheer and spur them on. "25 years, great excellence, impactful journalism, and all of us are the better for it. And that is why we say grateful hearts." Now, let's take you through what we have this morning. We'll tell you all the latest that you need to know and give you all the latest updates. And of course, the multimedia group is celebrating frontliners. So we're having an interaction with healthcare professionals working to combat coronavirus. And we'll speak to officials of the National Ambulance Service, somebody who works at a hospital just around you, and also many of them with the Comfort Teaching Hospital, the Rich Hospital right here in Accra, and many related others across the country. And in doing that, we'll also have an interaction with Stonebwoy. You all do know that he recently launched his latest album, Angloga Junction. and we want to get behind the story. What is his own artistic explanation, the dream, the picture that he saw to birth that great album? And so far, the accolades have just been telling. Make sure you are with us throughout this journey. Get interactive. Facebook, JoyNews on TV, through our Twitter handle at JoyNews on TV. And if you're in with many of the songs on the Angloga Junction album, please make sure you give us more of your messages. What do you like about the album, the songs, etc.? But today, we'll also meet the team behind Ghana's private sector 100-bed isolation center or facility. Beautiful drawings. Mama Vio is giving us a sneak peek into all those great transformational people who decided to bring this idea together. Yes, in 6 weeks, 100 beds at the Ghanese hospital. That is what you're seeing. So stay with us. A great holiday, but we're celebrating 25 years and celebrating our frontliners in this COVID-19 fight. We'll have to bring you the latest news headlines. Thank you for joining us. And again, I have to remind you, 25 years ago, we were live and on Joy FM. We all do know how impactful that station has been in giving birth to all of us. And we are all reveling in this great celebration. And so by 90 minutes past 8, wherever you find yourself, make sure that you join us and say a shout to 25 years of impactful journalism, media excellence, and we're all the better for it by saying we're grateful hearts. Now let's bring you the latest news update. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, says government is developing an exit strategy to return life to normal. At a meeting with leadership of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, the President was emphatic. The ban on social gatherings and closure of borders could not continue forever. According to him, government is looking at improving these existing measures to contain further spread of the virus while implementing a permanent solution to save the lives of ordinary Ghanaians.
About the way in which Ghanaians are responding to this crisis. It's not going to be easy for us to find this our way out, but we have to. We cannot be in these exceptional situations forever. Our borders closed, public gatherings banned, schools closed down, universities closed down. These are not events and phenomena that can be allowed to stay for a very long time. We have to find a way to bring them to an end and return to some form of normality. Obviously, those are an important precondition for that is that we have been able to deal with the health threat, because the saving of lives is the key. That has to take precedence over everything. So the programs that we're now working on to see how we can put together an exit strategy for us is very highly conditional on the progress of the fight against the pandemic.
President Akufo-Addo also commended the University of Ghana for leading research into finding a cure for the virus, and also the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology for developing a COVID-19 test kit capable of revealing sample results in minutes. President of UTAG, Dr. Charles Marfo, pledged the support of all universities to government initiatives towards combating the virus.
Also appreciate the fact that you saw the contribution, or you've been seeing the contribution of UTAG in this, as you put it, and it has become a phrase around unusual times. I also like to thank you again for acknowledging some of our associates that have been contributing very much during this period. I mean, you mentioned UG and Noguchi, KNUST and KCCR, and many other things that we've been doing. I mean, with the sequencing thing that Noguchi came up with, and presently what we are witnessing at KNUST, the testing apparatus that they are coming up with. It is a great leader to have recognized this. Your Excellency, we would also like to say something about the way you have led during this period. I must say it's commendable. When this whole crisis came and some associations started issuing statements as to how things should be managed, you had to come out, because we put some of our experts at work, and they came up with some suggestions as to how we could contain the crisis. So we came out. You mentioned a few points too. Ghana, and particularly you. We've been following the actions that are being taken, and we feel very much at home with them, because we feel like what we put out there, most of them are being pursued by yourself and your leadership. So, Mr. President, we want to again commend you for that. You said something that for us is very profound, the fact that we need the academia at this time to advise. And I would like to assure you that that is why perhaps we are here.
Ghana has also conducted autopsies on 2 COVID-19 infected bodies. Now, the Director of Institutional Care Division at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Kaba Akoyeria, says the procedure will help experts to better understand the effect of the virus on people and also recommend the right treatment. In the following report, Latif Idris, who was at the pathology department, reports that the team of experts are confident the exercise will usher in a major breakthrough in the management of Ghana's COVID-19 cases.
Ghanaians continue to come out strongly amidst the coronavirus pandemic. Talk about inventions in touchless hand-washing equipment and test kits recently innovated by KNUST. Today, pathologists here at the Ga East District Hospital have taken the bar a notch higher. They have, for the first time, conducted autopsy on 2 COVID-19 bodies. The breakthrough, according to Dr. Kaba, would potentially change the treatment process here in Ghana, on the African continent, and probably on the global scale.
People usually say that life must be understood backwards, but lived forward. And we need to listen to the language of the deaf. And pathology is the language of the deaf, telling us exactly what happened. So one, if you come in and you do the pathology, the first thing is that it helps you to understand the cause of death. 2, we've been talking about comorbidities. And we don't know whether it is the comorbidity that killed the patient or is the COVID, or both. We will need to understand. So, and we also need to understand, is it from the lungs, from the heart, or from where? Pathology studies elsewhere has also shown that, let's say in the US, the first COVID-19 patient who died, and they did the pathology, they realized that the heart ruptured. But in all the instances, treatment was geared towards the lungs. Recently, results have come in from many countries, China, Italy, and US, about pathology results, and they've seen that when we were talking so much about ventilators, there is also the need to start thinking about anticoagulants. Now, Ghana here, the manifestation of the clinical manifestation of our patients has a different pattern where we have so many people surviving, and that is a good thing. But we need to go beyond that and understand what is killing those few, because we would have loved not even one person to die.
So we are just entering the department. Yeah. Okay. So we get in and. Okay. So Dr. Kaba will walk us through, and then we will get to understand better how this whole process took place here at the Ga East District Hospital. And this is where it all happened. This is where the autopsy took place. So these are the instruments used in the autopsy here at the Ga East District Hospital. And these are the heroes also who conducted the autopsy. And this is Morgani's table. Yeah. So the body was lying on this table. How crucial would you say this exercise you are undertaking would be going forward in our own COVID-19 war?
Yes, definitely. This is a principal part of the fighting with the COVID. We can now do our research, our investigation to support the treatment we are doing giving to the patients.
So you are among the first to do this in the country. Tell me about the significance of this exercise that you have just undertaken here.
Yes, this postmortem that I have done. In fact, postmortem unravels so many things. Initially, I've done 2 cases that results came as negative. The family wanted to know. But subsequent tests that we took during postmortem proved positive.
In other news, residents living around the Chemu Lagoon in Choko are calling for a permanent bridge to be constructed across the lagoon. Now, this comes after heavy downpour on Sunday, washing away the floating bridge, which was constructed just a few months ago by the Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West, Esla Owusu-Ekufo. Nicholas Yamwa has more in the following report.
There's a lot of things that we can do together, but we need time. Those are the plans. We started with this floating bridge. We need a motorable bridge.
That was Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West, Esla Owusu-Ekufo, excited about the construction of a bridge linking Shiabu and Choko. The bridge was constructed with big blue plastic barrels at base with wood planks on top of it. It also had metal side railings to ensure users don't slip into the filthy lagoon. Esla Owusu-Ekufo explained the science behind the hollow barrels at the base.
The community needed a safe way of crossing the lagoon, even when it was full at high tide or at low tide. And so we've constructed this floating bridge.
But last Sunday's downpour destroyed the bridge and washed it away, close to the sea. Residents say because the lagoon was choked with rubbish, the floating bridge further prevented the water from flowing freely. The rubbish piled, causing the lagoon to overflow its banks.
Nsuo no echi ebi gina animu ebi pese ntwanko ebi pese ntwamra by na nsuo na ma bridge na akosoro binti na sheki nti ebi mu ntime nko ebi mu ntime nti omu gina aso tie hu ya za ade na dane a ekọ epunim oyesra aban so obetimi aya ama eba obeya mema na nya no sene a omu ye no first onye no sene ebe ya nsuo betimi akọ bole betimi aba.
So we were here and we saw that the rubbish that the rain carried just bounced to the footbridge and it just carried it away. They've been coming here always, but nothing goes on. You see, nothing goes on. Now that it has happened this way, they have heard our cry and they've come to us. And I think due to this, something good has come to Ablekuma South.
No, and that chain who say bola be brea be good bridge nechi ama bridge na chia achia grofo be bre di mika fa so e di try e chain who say eno ankasa dane ne hu di na ni akire mponimu a e kwa bola ni nso di akiri ai de na e ko sese na bridge ni wona ma obekwa agise okofa atakwashidi na ma ye kwan no aye tenten.
Now at the back of the floating bridge there was a lot of rubbish and this so it started affecting some of the people in the community, so we started complaining. When it rains recently, the adventurous thing happened, and then the rain pulled the floating bridge, break the community bridge, and then the water took the bridge away. So right now we know that they are coming to construct a road bridge for us, so we are all hoping.
However, residents have created a new bridge. They are calling for dredging of the lagoon and construction of a permanent bridge. Nicholas Ekoyama's report, read to you.
Well, let's take you up north, and the proximity of the Kassina-Nankana West District to Burkina Faso has made it more challenging for the district assembly there as it fights against the spread of the coronavirus. According to the DCE for the area, Gerald Atwaji, the possibility of foreigners coming into Ghana through unapproved routes in the area also means that security agencies and the COVID-19 task force there have to be on high alert at all times. He was speaking after receiving a donation from Ghana's ambassador to Benin, Leo Kaba, to aid the fight against the coronavirus in the district. Albert Sorry has more.
The Kassina-Nankana West District is one of the busiest in the Upper East region due to the location of the Ghana-Burkina Faso border at the district's capital, Paga. Although Ghana's borders are currently closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the many unapproved routes within this district are a source of worry for the district assembly in their daily efforts to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Gerald Atawuje is the DCE.
We realized that the unapproved routes actually pose a challenge. So we observed that these Kandus, Motokings, and whatnot, who are even our brothers, they cross and then bring the Burkinabés in. So another task force made of the fire service, the military, the police, immigration, custom has been put in place, where they divided themselves into 2. Day patrol, 9 patrol, and then we met the leadership of the Kandus, the taxi drivers, and then that of the Motokings, and then we talked to them. So actually, they don't cross again, and they don't allow any Motoking or Kandu or taxi into the district. And you know the border is being closed, but like I said, the unapproved routes are many, so people still try to always sneak. So we detect that is also a challenge. So if so, the task force or the security cannot be everywhere every time. So we put in place community volunteers. Through their help, we've been able to pick not less than 70 or 80 people. You heard.
Ghana's ambassador to Benin, Leo Kaba, has made some donation to help the Kassina-Nankana West District Assembly in their fight to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Receiving the donation, the district chief executive said it would help make the work of frontline staff in the district a lot easier. The donation included 50 Veronica buckets and some boxes of liquid soap. Kassina-Nankana West District Director of Health Services, Hippolyte Yelido, said the donation from Ghana's ambassador to Benin had come at the right time.
I want to commend the health staff for also doing their bit. They are doing a lot. There is no one who is leaving a stone unturned. We've taken a lot of samples based on the follow-ups that have been done by the immigration, and that has been sent to the national KCCR for the test. We have also suspected some number of cases, and so far we haven't tested anyone positive for COVID-19. So I can say in summary that everyone is doing his or her bit, and if we work together, COVID-19 may be something that we will not experience in the Kassina-Nankana West District.
Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sorry, Paga.
And that's it for news. We have a number of newspapers in the studio. Myself, Mamavi, and Kojo Yankson will look at all these next.
And happiness.
These days, when you cough, everybody says, am I safe? Like, or are you safe? So is everything okay? Is that the only thing that you feel? Or you feel something in your throats? Tasteless, Roland? I'm talking to you. There are some basic things that I need to ask you. Are you coughing?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Are you coughing?
No, I'm not.
Or you were just choking on something?
I was choking.
You feel something in your throat?
No, it's
some kind of discomfort?
No, not at all.
Are you able to eat well?
Too much.
Do you taste what you eat?
Too much.
Okay. All right. Back page of the Ghanaian Times.
Marvi, be careful.
Ho Technical University to produce urea to support agriculture, while Municipal Assembly to distribute 15,000 nose masks to market women. That's how the back page looks like with the two stories there.
Marvi, it's pronounced urea. Urea.
Oh, I said urea. Urea. Thank you.
You know, before COVID began ravaging us, you were traveling to Dubai, Singapore, Malaysia.
No, Roland, I take the correction.
Your accent.
I am not going to hide behind that. I won't hide behind that.
You for quarantine you. No wonder you
No
wonder you go to 100-bed facility for guys. All right, so let's go to the Daily Guide. Daily Guide has on the front page, Kennedy Ejapong wants Agrada. Agrada says, after I finish with Obinim, I'll come to you. Shut your mouth.
Who's Agrada?
Otherwise, Agrada. Oh, you don't know Nana Agrada?
No.
Mama, if you cry, you're not in tune. Nana Agrada will make you rich. She has a whole channel that she...
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah, fetish. She's a traditional priest. Priestess. Right, that's more.
She's got content on television.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Great content, has great viewership. It's also very much.
So what does she do? Like, is it like a church service?
No. You see her in
on TV.
Yeah, with the talisman and the powder, and then sometimes we'll
for real.
Yeah, like a soothsayer and all that. Yeah, I think it's.
You know, when I heard that directive by
on the multi-TV box, I think
people were attributing it to the NMC banning activities. I thought, oh, doesn't even happen. Like, you know.
Is it for real?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But now that you're telling me about this one, like
because I don't know, because some of them own the channels, so I'm wondering how they're going to ban
fetish stuff on television. Well, okay.
No, but if you go to Benin, larger percentage of the population. No, terrible,
I don't know their.
They are traditionalists. I don't think there's anything wrong. It's the Indians.
Yeah, but if you're charming money, I mean, I don't know about that.
Charming.
Yeah, isn't that what you said?
No, is it charming? No,
doubling the money.
They bring forth money.
Bring forth money.
And just a draw. Okay, so we have other stories also on the front page of the Daily Guide. EMT set for hospitals decision. We also do have NDC MPs who won EC in Parliament. 45 though arrested for holding church service, and COVID-19 swells to. We're talking about the cases. There are many of the cases around this, the headlines. It should be COVID-19 cases swell to 2,074 with 212 recoveries. At least we're lucky we're still within the 10% range. Let's go to the back page of the Daily Guide. Has there PSG crowned champions despite league cancellation. I'm sure Liverpool also will be crowned champions very soon. Yeah, I think 70% of the matches had been played, if not about 80 or so.
And there will be legal actions.
There won't be any legal action. Everybody knows it because is it between 25?
If it was that easy, 25? How many games didn't they had the opportunity to just win it? if it was that easy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It was obvious that, yeah, they were but why didn't they just finish it?
They'll just finish it up. Because with a gap of 25 points, what else? Man United
Hey, Liverpool.
against no good though.
After how many years? Just when you try to.
Meanwhile, somebody who is not saying no to his former club, Mauricio Pochettino, says, I will manage Spurs again before I die. Reminds me. Yeah. Currently, Spurs is managed by Jose Mourinho. A virus can affect calendar for years. We do know that. And Barca stars face more pay cuts. A lot of professionals are taking a lot of pay cuts across the world. I'm sure even in Ghana, some compromises are being made. All right. That'll be it. Mama B.
Let's do myjoyonline.com. We'll spend a bit of time also doing the BBC before we wrap up this segment and make way for sports. But we go to our page, myjoyonline.com. Let's see what's happening on what we are reporting on today. COVID-19, KCCR to clear a little over 8,000 backlog of test samples by Sunday. The issue really has been backlog. We hear that all the time. Reason we're not getting results in real time. So yesterday we had over 400 new cases adding on to our case counts, going above 2,000, crossing the 2,000 mark, and everybody's asking, so you recorded that many cases in a day? No, we didn't. Technically, it's coming from the backlog. I think we need a lot more information, and that should be daily. It should be provided to us daily so we can keep up, even though it's coming from the backlog, how many more we have. KCCR, Nogochi, we've got other centers all across. So all together, you know, we need a lot more information. Like I am thinking that we need to graduate the briefings to daily briefings. Yeah, I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think so. Just like it's done, but I don't know how we're not going to get bored with the daily briefings. I think the maybe 3-day or bi-weekly briefings.
I would want a daily briefing, especially because, you know, it's still very much confusing. The cases are going up. We have great recoveries as well. We're not overlooking that, but people need the explanation as to why we're still climbing. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go back to myjoyonline.com. Okay. But that's just my opinion. Ketu South identified as an emerging hotspot for coronavirus. I have a firm idea of who my running mate is. That's according to former President Mahama. To those who think he's still struggling and the NDC is still struggling to find a running mate, he said it. Ghana's COVID-19 cases now over 2,000 with 212 recoveries and 17 deaths. Let's see, child dies of COVID-19 at Kolibu. 3 units cordoned off for disinfection. Now, it comes back to the kind of protocols that we observe. This week, here on the AM show, we talked about coronavirus in children. And one of the doctors at the UGMC, Dr. Amwa, shared with us how a 13-year-old had gotten COVID-19 and recovered, fully recovered. But if any case, especially I think now that we're not under any form of lockdown, but we're observing all the protocols, every facility in Ghana, every health facility should approach every patient as a possible COVID patient. So you can't let your guard down.
You're talking about an ideal situation.
It should be, and particularly for a facility like the Kolibu Teaching Hospital. That's too big to not follow the necessary protocols. And I'm just thinking, because of the back stories that we've heard, with 3 units being closed down, somebody didn't follow the protocol from the beginning. Because it couldn't just be that if you did follow it, this would happen. So I think we should begin to also pay attention.
I think the protocol, is it the protocol that every case at any OPD in Ghana should be treated as a possible case?
But what do you think, Roland Walker, especially
no,
when
you're
it's
talking about an ideal situation, and I don't think that the health professionals that I talk to, beyond those at the main centers, have been given the directive or tell me that they've been given the directive that every case should be treated as an ideal or suspected COVID case. I think that when that is the situation, then your argument or advocacy will hold. Because
I'm
all the
just
health
thinking,
professionals that I speak to who are not at the main centers and the people at those centers that we speak to say, look, we have not been told that every case that comes to an adult emergency or an emergency or OPD should be treated as a suspected COVID case. So that's the difference.
Then how are we winning the fight? Because if you take a case to any emergency room today, if we're not even talking about the general OPD, if you take a case to emergency, it should be seen as such. That's the only way you win the fight from the hospitals.
Well, somebody can be at an emergency with a fracture or with something or with something else. Then
So
all of it is an emergency.
I get it, but Roland, otherwise, how do you win? I mean, you can't tell from a person's face that they have COVID or not. You can't. You must have some sort of strict protocols.
I agree with
Otherwise, you'll be closing down units all the time, units that we don't have many of those units. That's just what I'm saying. Well, there's plenty of stories on myjoyonline.com. But also to say that it's exactly 25 years, and as we celebrate, praise and thanks must go to those who deserve it. In the beginning, God. For 25 years, you have led us into your regions, cities, towns, communities, and homes. For 25 years, we have partnered with you to build your brands and business. Our stakeholders, industry players, and regulators, you have always been part of us. Our board members, management, and team members, past and present, it has always been about our people. Selfless, dedicated, hardworking, moving together with a sense of purpose. We salute you. We thank you. Happy anniversary to the Multimedia Group and to Joy FM. Now, your convenience and safety means a lot to us. Easy does it. Read all the news at home. No need to leave your home or office when the news is available to you on the go. Get on your device now and download Graphic News Plus from Google Play Store. Graphic business, graphic showbiz, Genia graphic sports, as well as videos, free news, and so much more. That's the plus for you. For further, enjoy 10% discount, or you further enjoy 10% discount on your monthly subscription, 15% for 3 months subscription, and 20% discount for 6 months and beyond. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news. That's it for the review. We've got sports next, but not until I say thank you to my designer, Ajua Yeboah Clothing. Stay with us.
Hi there, very good morning to you. I'm Benedict Osu. Welcome to the sports segment here on AM Show. It's a Friday morning, and this morning our focus and attention is on Liverpool. Their current 25-point lead is the biggest lead held by the first place team in the Premier League history. Even if Manchester City were to win their game in hand, no other team has ever had a 22-point lead at the top. Although close, winning it looks so far with no end in sight of the coronavirus pandemic. Well, I've been looking at how fans here in Ghana as well as the UK are taking in all these.
To be honest with you, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I, for one reason, feel that the league will still go on. I have strong conviction for that the league is still going to go on one way or the other. There has so far been many or several meetings and talks going on in the background as to how best they can get the league back and running. You know, aside it being just an entertainment, you remember that it's a lot of revenue making for a lot of people in England, especially even the government.
How would I feel if Liverpool lose the title? Liverpool have won the title to say they've lost it. They can only be declared champions if you win it outright, correctly and mathematically. Yes, they're the best team in the league, but the league title is decided after 38 games.
I want to win the games and I want to get a trophy. It is what I would love. But with this situation, whatever happens, I will understand. End of quote.
So I totally understand Mane's comments about wanting to win the league, wanting to win trophies, but then he totally understands whatever decision that is being made. That is his opinion. However, if you think about it, I mean, Liverpool, we've played 29 games and we are on top of the league, yes, and 82 points on top. I mean, that's quite a lot. If you look at it, Man City has 52 points, I think. So at this point in time, I think we need to complete the league. It's not fair to scrap the league and start in.
I don't think there should be a case for fans thinking that Liverpool haven't won mathematically. I don't think, genuinely, even the rivals of fans, which is the Man United fans and even Manchester City fans, agree that Liverpool has already won the league. Come on, they just need a win or two to wrap it up. And you don't see any coming back for Manchester City or Leicester City or whoever would trouble Liverpool. Let's be honest with ourselves. That's not a 6-point or 8-point gap. We're talking about 25 points, and it's huge.
So Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp ending that report. So there will be a meeting this afternoon to determine what will happen next in terms of the English Premier League. Already the Dutch league is done, and the French league as well, and that's where we go to. Because so that was at the 2010 FIFA World Cup, and Samajan scored that amazing goal which ensured Ghana progressed to the quarter-final stage of the competition. It was a round of 16 game Ghana-USA. It was the second time we're actually meeting the USA in a World Cup competition. The first one was in 2006, which we won 2-1, and in South Africa. And well, and funny enough, in all the times that we've beaten the USA at the World Cup, we're wearing red and they were wearing white. The moment we wore white and they wore a different color, that was when we lost to them in Brazil 2014.
What's a superstition?
But you know something? Before that game in 2014, I mentioned to someone that, check it out, if Ghana should wear white, we will lose that game. He said, hey,
my friend, I used to continue with that.
Oh, you listen. Then he said, I told them that if Ghana should wear white, we will lose that game because the first time we met US in 2006, we were wearing red, we won 2-1. Second time in South Africa, it was same red, we won 2-1. If we should change, if we wear red, we'll beat them. Then we wore white. Then after the game, the guy called me, was like, hey, Charlie, why? What did you see?
I think that for me, for pure footballing reasons, 2006 and 2010, we had the best team when it comes to football on the African continent. And it's my belief that that is why we carry the hopes of Africa in that first World Cup that was supposed to ever be convened on an African soil. And if you look at the camaraderie that was exhibited by the players on the pitch, it showed that if we had a lot of fortitude, great mindset, and not lose our mentality and focus, we could have gone forward. And ultimately, we lost it again.
But in 2014, we had a very good team. Actually, for me, the team that we took to 2014, looking at the quality,
that of 2006 and 2010 doesn't come close, because the players that we took to, go and check the squad. Go and check. No, this is debatable. Go and check the squad. Of course. You look at Michael Essien, Suleiman Muntari, Kevin Prince Boateng, and then that was when some of the young boys were also coming out. Christian Achu, Mubarak Wakasu, Efi Akwa, Andrea Ayew was in the team. Asamoah was at his peak, was playing very well at our lines. Had scored over 100 goals coming into that tournament. Andrea Ayew was playing very well, Suleiman Muntari, and all these guys, you understand. But you look at the team that we took to the 2010 World Cup. We had players that were coming from the 2009 World Cup winning squad. You remember, there was no Michael Essien, there was Kudus Asamoah, and at the point when we went to the 2010 Nations Cup, that was when almost all of us said, oh, this team, they are just going to, participate and come. But they eventually got to the finals, you understand. So if you are looking at squad depth, 2006, 2010, 2014, we had a very good squad to win the World Cup. But just to add to the superstition bit, the last time we also played against the USA, which was in a friendly, we wore white and we couldn't win.
Again, I have to say that for national teams, you can't do that comparison of the depth in squad just like you find in a normal club setting. No, because for national teams, often it is how they are able to gel, how often they've been able to play together. That also comes in handy. So
but
you
how
remember
about this?
the 2009
under
20 satellite team had played consistently in that World Cup. Then they went to the African Cup of Nations with the support of a couple of the senior players. We had Kudus Asamoah, all of them supporting. And so that created that sort of unity that they needed. For national teams, you need that sort of strength in depth of experience. And I believe that is what they had. So it's not consistently the best players.
But
and that is why sometimes you find that in some of the best tournaments, for teams that have some of the best players, they don't tend to do well.
How about this
Rather, teams that have played for a long time and people are ready to sacrifice beyond the names that they have, they tend to do well.
All right, point well noted. But how about coming into a tournament with players that are playing very well at their respective clubs?
You get to find that oftentimes by the time they enter some of those end of season tournaments, they tend to get tired or plagued with fatigue.
But
so
is it not good to have players?
Let me give you a case in point. In 2006, in the World Cup, Brazil came through into the World Cup with some of the best players in that squad. They had Ronaldinho at his peak playing Barcelona, and a number of them. Roberto Carlos was in there, etc. But they had a France team that ultimately had to just shelve them off.
No, but that France team was actually good. These were players that were coming from League One and other top leagues that have played very well that season as well.
Unfortunately,
so the point that I'm making,
they were aging.
They were aging, but the point that I'm making is it is always good and important to have players at top level football going into a tournament.
Okay, one thing I want to tell you that I also know my football. So once you have your opinion, I also have my opinion.
Of course. Okay. You know your football. That's why we are having this conversation. Yeah, I think that we should have a sit-down conversation on this.
It won't be. I think that for this COVID period, it won't be bad at all. So perhaps maybe you can ask Derek Okosan to give us some time.
Just 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. I remember some time when we were calling our players for the Black Stars. People were talking about how our players were playing at relatively unknown football countries. Congo.
But anyway, we have to go for a break. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more. Remember, Stonebwoy is right here on the show. We're going to stream him into the studio. He has a new album titled Angloga Junction. We want to know the spirits and what really went into putting together that great album. I always love that all his songs are laden with a lot of words. Stay with us.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, one of Ghana's biggest musicians today, CEO of Benetton Music, a man who has taken creativity on a spiritual course from Alakpola in Angloga. Please help me welcome Eche Stonebwoy. What's up? What's up? What's up, Stone? Oh, I see you, man. Hi to you.
I'm fine. Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, world.
Good morning. Listen, explain to my viewers why you're not in studio.
I'm really sorry. I would want to be in the studio, but it's almost as if we're forgetting that we have to take it easy on the outdooring, and I think I've done a few necessary ones. Luckily to the fact that the lockdown was lifted somehow, so I was able to do a few things, personally in studios. But I think I'll just have to call back to continue the vibes via the Skypes and the Zooms, and still, be available for the people,
Nice.
And it's very, very early in the morning, and considering getting into so it's all many factors.
Okay,
I'm really sorry I would have been in the studio, but
listen,
I'm here.
we like you like this. We like you like this. I mean, it's still Stone Boy, but the brilliance and creativity on this album is incredible. I want to say thank you to you for letting people know about our hometown, Angloga, putting the spotlight on Angloga. So we are in Angloga today.
You owe me, man. The Anglo State owes me for this.
I put up a post. And I said, we will be live in Angloga near the post office.
Yes.
But I want you to tell us about the reason you're in love with Angloga. And I guess when we talk about Angloga for you will be Alakle, mainly because that's where you come from.
Thing is, I think I'll stress a little bit more on that. Most of us as Ghanaians would mention two cities, as where we come from naturally. Like, where are you from? I'm from here and here. I'm from here. You say I'm from Alakle and Angloga, my paternal, I think both parents are related. Some not related. Both parents can link their, vibes from there. So my paternal side, I know, is from Angloga, and maternal side is from Alakle.
Okay.
But they still have links between both cities or both towns, But to the root core of it, I'm also rooted deeply into Togo,
Okay.
Also, so if I have to stress on this one, that's my roots. That's like, if I have to be very direct. But the reason why I chose Angloga is that is where that's my hometown. I know, like, as a child, I visited there a number of times. My father took us there a number of times. I visited Alakle also, but assuming it would be like 7 out of 10, and Alakle would have been like probably 3 out of 10.
Okay.
So I know Angloga. And also the fact is that Anglo is like the Anglo state, you see. So I couldn't have represented what I wanted to do with Alakle, because that would have just been like one city or one town.
What is it about this album? And I have listened, do you know the number of times I've listened to this album? I slept almost midnight yesterday, still listening to every one of every track on that album. Hello, Eche. Can you hear me all right, Stone? Okay, so we seem to be having some connectivity issues right there, but we're going to link up right back. We want to talk a little more about Angloga Junction. That's the album. Okay, Eche, you are back with me.
Yes.
Okay,
I can hear
great.
You clearly.
So I was saying, like, how crazy could you be? Like, every single track on that album is dope. Dope.
It's gotta be.
What have you heard? What are the reviews that you've heard yourself?
This is crazy. The reviews are mad. They keep coming in by the day. And I can only trust me, sis, give thanks to God, man. Because look, I've been through the latter part of last year, and this year has been like, how you get to do different things. So to churn out beautiful things like this, I think a blessing, you know. I think it's God's making. I'm talking God. Let nobody get bored, because I don't joke with that, you know. Because no matter the amount of work I put in, it has to be blessed. You know what I mean? Because people put in a lot of work as well, but you know.
Let's talk also a bit.
All I can say, man.
Yeah, let's talk also a bit about how you fuse a lot of things together to make it really like a classic pieces on this album.
Yeah, man.
So you've got a little bit like everything, you know, you have everything in there. How do you, like as a creative person, come to that point where you know, like you're doing your own thing and it comes out brilliantly and everybody is in love with it?
Because I keep the people, I keep them in mind. You know, I have the people on my mind when I'm working, because yes, for the individual songs on the album that we have, any song that comes to me, I make sure that I tailor it well. For instance, if it is a size medium, I sew it to fit the medium people. If it's a size large, I make sure I sew it well to fit the large people. But in it all, it will come together to be a beautiful piece of garment for everybody, you know. So some of the songs might not, you know, that's why people have their favorites. But in it all, everybody will find something in there, you know, and still will not underestimate or will not discredit somebody's favorite, you know, and they can still point at the next song and say, yeah, but that's good as well, but I love this one.
Yeah.
So I keep them in mind to just, you know, create.
Yeah. Let me just tell our viewers that you can send me, I'm asking what's your favorite track on this album, Angloga Junction? What's your favorite? And later on, I'm also going to activate the phone lines. If you can sing a little bit of your favorite to us, it will be really, really good. I want to plan a trip to Angloga. So maybe, just maybe, we can take a few people with us when this whole pandemic is over. And then we can put Angloga on the spotlight and show you where the junction is in Angloga. So send me a WhatsApp message. You're going to put the number on the screen shortly. And then you can...
I mean, we will show every Angloga junction in Ghana, literally.
Yeah, I like that very much. Listen, what's your own favorite? What's your own favorite on this album?
All the songs are my favorite.
No way.
I keep choosing. No, they are, but I can only choose one one at a time. So for now on your show, one of my favorites is "Don't Play Me, Mami Misika, and Try Me Chobo. Who the same I'm daddy, Martini Kyoto, a Konkono, a Juma Wapani Coco. Say na Namishano no and Namajimi on no, yeah. Adia Sanami, the Somi Bobo. Kojo me hinsu obedi money for the coco, Mr. Macapta, me show you one side, I yellow. Ejumanesi, branding, me shoto. Na life is a journey, yeah. Journey, yeah. Life is a journey, yeah. Life is a long, long journey. It be the work where we know. We never go to play like domino. Anywhere the work there, it be there we go. We dey go knock and shop like a lukoto. See?
When you get the album hit on track 9, exactly, and that's what he's singing to us.
Like when I'm up this morning, talking to you on the phone when I slept at 4 a.m., that's my song. Like, yes, keep working, wherever the work day, that be no laziness.
I like that. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Yeah, man.
I like Strength and Hope as well.
So you see,
I like Strength and Hope.
That's the style, that song, man.
Yeah.
You will be my strength and hope in times like this. I cannot cope. Jaja, give me strength and hope, strength and hope. Mad thing.
But listen, the one that we will play if we were going to Angloga and we needed to. And listen, you can identify Angloga anywhere. You can identify Angloga if you're in the north, if you're in the western region, if you're in the central region. Just identify your own junction, your own Angloga junction. The one that we will play would be. Actually, which one would we play?
would be track 1.
It will be track 1?
Yes, I said that.
Okay.
It will be track 1.
Okay. But I was just... I thought you were singing it, man.
Oh, you want me to sing more?
Yeah.
Ojo fun tola magboro rogbo na ye ma vero bako agbakaka ora na bi ambere obudongore menya shibu. That's why me say chop life, enjoy life. Don't call me life, they know they buy. See them, they ball for Dubai, they chill for the quiet. Make you know they look another guy. You for smile. If anybody wanna stress you, I Bama leg back behind, Mama leg back behind, no, never man, the corner for low. Yeah, man.
Listen, my mate and my friend Fafa says this particular track, it hits differently when you understand the language, and I agree with her.
But even so, people can feel the spirit, people can feel the energy, and God knows this song came from one part of my heart. You know that if you knew what was happening on the back, you can understand some of the vibe. You feel me? I can only express it with the music.
Yeah.
More time you put it in the song, and the spirit will resonate with other people's spirits, and it will connect. Those who understand the language can also explain it to some people lyrically, the lyrical content and the meaning, but you can still feel it, you know? Because that's why I broke it down in the verses. See, that's how I compose my songs, right? If you think you can't understand some part of the things, especially when I speak anyway, I summarize it in a second verse. It says, experience, show me, teach me the things I never know. Oh, wind blowing from the east, carry me everywhere you go. Cause mama no day here, and papa no day here, and I'm alone on my own. Life is my only hope. You know? So you can still get the vibes from the verses. Like experience, show me, teach me the things I never know. You know? That tells you a lot of things. Many people going through certain experiences that they know now that going through life is not easy.
Yeah.
So when you relate that to the chorus that says, my leg back behind, you know? No, you know? You can check the vibes. And to people and to other people, it only means that how can I even explain that literally? My life. I also metia symphony. Nanka my funu amedi yada dami. That's how I can. I'm on sign ekeshia me funu. Metia symphony nanka I'm on sign ekeshia me funu.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? Yeah, man.
Yeah, you've done well with the translation.
Yeah.
But listen, I think also, you know, this whole coronavirus lockdown, the conversation has been one way. It's not really also like a very good time to be super creative with the music and everything. And you kind just turn the conversation around and giving us something beautiful to reflect on, even as we go through those difficulties and the challenges of the time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a week. No, but if you want to comment on that, please go ahead.
No, I said what I was going to say, sorry to interrupt that, is that we would surely have to come out of this one anyway. So I think we can only do that or find a leeway with creative materials, you feel me, like movies, music. You know, music has always been there to heal us, you know, to help us out of several situations. I can trust, I can say that whilst these things are, whilst the COVID-19 is on, you know, it's people like us that have to also get at work. Also, we also have to get at work and try to help in musically, or you know, to give people some relief. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Because imagine the world right now without any creative substance, like no music, no movies, nothing. It would just be too much for everybody to bear. So, you know.
I've got a member of parliament who is watching us. His name is Rock Singh Dafamapo. He says, tell Stone I say hi. He's Stone and I am Rock, but Eche too.
Yeah, man. Oh, big up, honorable.
So let's get some of your messages on WhatsApp, but I think right about now, because I don't want to own him on the show. He's on the show because of you. So give us a call, 030221169102. After all, it's May Day today. It's a holiday. Stone is here.
Oh, May Day, yes. Hey, first
May. What, you forgot?
Oh, you already caught me now. Charlie, people don't forget the date too, because it's all Corona, it's all... Wow,
it's true.
What? A holiday, Jano. A happy holiday to everybody. May Day. May Day is for workers, right?
Yes.
So I dedicate Journey Track 9 to you. It's work. But today we have to just take time out and reflect back on things.
Charlie, people are connecting. Somebody says you are Eche, I am Achu. Like, you know, people are coming home. So my messages are dropping, and they're coming in like lots of messages dropping at the same time. So I'm just going to give it some few seconds so that we can get onto it. But here's, and kindly please don't call my WhatsApp number. Just call the phone number, which is 030221169102. So kindly don't call my phone, don't call my WhatsApp number. This one says strength and hope, and it's even my ringing tone. The whole thing is, I am also from Anglo Afiadanigma. This is Scanty inside KJB in the OT region. So people are connecting from different sides with this particular album. Exactly. I want to know what your favorite is on the album. And if you call us, if you can sing a little bit of your favorite, that would be super good. This one says, Stone God, you be too much. It's from Daniel in Tema Community 5. Sending this WhatsApp message. This one also says, here we go. Tell Stone, Voltarians are proud of him. Hey Stone, you too much. Kindly include your name when you send us a message. This one is from Aisha. Aisha. And the messages are still dropping, so they are blocking the ones that I'm trying to open. Aisha says, Stone God again. Yes, you will live long. Aisha Atina sent this message. Let's go to Romeo. Romeo is in Keta, and Angloga is in the Keta district, by the way.
Yep.
No, Romeo is in Koko, and Wisdom is in Keta. So Romeo first. Romeo, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Romeo.
Hello.
Yes, Romeo. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, please, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I want to tell someone that I love you very much. Hello.
Oh, he can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yes,
hello, Sumoy.
Hello,
boy.
Okay, Romeo, just say what you want to say. Romeo.
Good morning. Happy Happy holidays to you, Romeo.
The best musician in Ghana.
Okay, Romeo, thank you very much. He heard you, and he's grateful. Wisdom is in Keta. Hello, Wisdom.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Hi.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Wisdom.
Hello?
Good morning. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I want to say a happy Workers' Day or May Day to everyone in the studio, and thanks so much also for exhibiting his talent. For he's making Volta proud. He's making Amor proud. We are proud of him. We are solidly behind him. Him and the squad, them and Co. We are behind them, strongly behind them. They should keep us making proud.
Okay.
Love them. They should keep it up.
All right, Wisdom. Thank you very much. Let's go to Kumasi. Megdad is in Kumasi. Hello, Megdad.
Hello, one card.
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
yeah, man, what's up?
Yo, anything cool?
Dad, what's your favorite on the album?
Everything cool,
African Party. African Party.
Okay, can you sing a line?
Yeah, if you the whole song. For the love I have for some boy. One God, much love, much love. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, because Tomboy is my dad, my African party. Party. African party. One God. Yeah, you have to understand. You have to understand me. It's gonna be okay. Big nation.
Thank you, McDad. Thank you, McDad from Kumasi. Thank you. Let's go to Edmond. Edmond is in Tema. Yeah, Edmond is in Tema. Edmond, good morning. Yes, hi, Edmond.
Yes, I want to say that Woman has really, inspired us in so many ways, and especially us parents, we are super proud of him. And I would just like to ask a question.
Okay.
During his IG live with Sarah Hilson, she mentioned that she wants him to feature Rihanna. Is he pursuing that agenda?
Is he pursuing the Rihanna agenda?
And another second question.
Okay.
As a veteran, I also love Manifest. Does he have in his plans working with him?
Okay. All right. So let's, Stone, did you hear that?
I heard it clearly.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. We're still pursuing that agenda. We have, it's one of my wishes, So I'll leave it all in time. And time is a master, and God is the owner of time and time itself. So it will happen, I believe. And then with the Manifest one, Manifest and I have 2 songs. He came to my house, I think sometime last year, and we recorded 2 songs. So we have 2 songs then.
So 2 songs that nobody has released yet.
Yeah, right. 2 songs.
Oh, and then the line is just
nah.
Okay, the connectivity. I didn't hear what you said because of connectivity issues. So I asked.
I said we have 2 songs, right? We have 2 songs unreleased yet.
Okay. All right.
We recorded 2 songs at my house.
Okay. So when do you think you guys would release it? How does it work? Do you both agree on when to release it? Is that it?
Not very, but however, I think we all, we communicate, because as it stands, me as well, so one would be featuring him, or me and him, and the other would be him and I, so he owns one, I own one. So however we deal with these songs, we will still have to inform one another regardless, before it comes out.
Okay.
So he has the right to release his at whatever time he wants, or whatever time that suits him.
Okay.
And me equally.
Okay, great. All right, let's take some Facebook comments. We've got 5 minutes to wrap up my conversation with Stonebwoy Eche. And I'm just getting a correction from the South Dai Member of Parliament who's hooked onto our show right now, who draws my attention to the fact that Anglo is now the capital of the new Anglo districts. So we are districts, Yabem.
Oh,
so let's,
for real?
yeah, for real. Let's take some Facebook comment now.
Hold on. Let me get that right. He said Angloga is now the district.
Yes, Anglo is
capital.
Now a district. So we are no longer under Keta.
As a whole, it's not. Anglo is now a district.
Asagomafia.
Okay.
Okay, let's take the Facebook comments now. Let's go to Facebook. So here we go. Ellen Nam. Devino says nominates, understand, good morning. Critical. Edra Kobe Emmanuel says the whole album. Oh, it's fireworks. Yomofio Enoch says only love. Dom Bimboski. Hey. Leg back, but everlasting, only love. Well, okay, so people are kind of like going back and bringing everything together. Only Love nominates Motion, Strength and Hope, Critical. All the tracks on the album are dope. Look. Yes, I'm asking for your favorite songs on the album. Luxina Abdul Ghanin says nominate Critical and Black Madonna. Something as someone says, I guess I love all tracks on the album is what you wanted to say. Strength and Hope says Ken Nathaniel. Very difficult exam, so I choose Strength and Hope. Prosper Frimpon says, I love the nominators. Very nice. Sefoji promises from number 1 till the end. Nene Manche Yawesiedu says, I understand. Focus Erickson says, hey, let's back by let's back by. Kevin Dogbe says, nominates. Raphael says, good morning. Lovely Lolo also says, let's back by Abdullah Abdul Razak. Strength and Hope, my favorite. Hamanu says it's difficult to choose favorite. So this is Reginald says Critical. Sakite Nasiru. I love all the songs, but my favorite is Strength and Hope. Mami Dufie Portia says good morning, nominate and understand. Listen, it's Lucas GH says Jenny Winfred nominate Critical. Lagbagba. African Idol says Pakwisi, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. We've got to wrap up this conversation right here. I hate to do this. But what's the vibe that you get when you hear people? Some people obviously can't choose, but there's some people who also have found their favorite, and it's only been a week. Like we're talking, like you released this like
Today
a month ago.
A week.
Yeah.
We're after the album dropped. 7 days, and we're doing like almost 8 million plus on AudioMac alone, and just on AudioMac and YouTube streams are going up with nominate 500,000 views plus. And then I'm gonna urge everybody to continue to subscribe to my YouTube because we are on an agenda. You know, we have to get it blown before we hit the Rihanna collab or something. So, Jano. And like you said, I feel very fulfilled because, like I said, I'm just like a tailor. You know, I sew all sizes. So once I throw it in there, whoever picks their size, whether small, large, medium, extra large, I even sew extra large. So everybody will find their own in there. You know.
Yeah. I also wanted to just throw in. I remember that I have been to Alakpole before. And there's a statue. I mean, it's a place. It's famous for something else. It's not just Tomboy who comes from that place. Major General Kotoka, the man whose name is on the Kotoka International Airport. So just so you know, because we're bringing Angloga to you, here's something that you might want to add to the things that you're learning about our hometown today.
And I think Alakpole is like an older city compared to Angloga. That's what I think. You know, like that's what I was told. Okay. You know, because you find out. We'll do the history class some other time. You know, but all these things. I mean, I don't mean to bore anybody with any tribalistic kind of sentiment. But one thing I always say is that we have to identify ourselves to be able to identify with other people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And definitely Ghanaians are one people. We intermarry, we vibe. My wife is an Ashanti and Kwewu and all that. Yeah. There's no barrier, especially the Akans and the Evers. We have Kweku, they have we have Koku, they have Kweku. So just imagine the similarity. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we're one people. But yes, I only want to stress on the fact that by the choice of this name, I do not mean to only tribalize. I mean to represent for Ghana, but from where I pick it from, because if I was in Ashanti, I would have surely said something, or I would have surely used something that we all can relate to as Ghanaians. Yeah. Therefore, you see, Angloga, there is an Angloga junction in Kumasi, and there must be Angloga, whatever, in the rest of, because, you know, once we move, Okay.
Wait. Just I have to go, but in 30 seconds, I want to also celebrate your beautiful wife, Louisa. Thank you. And we're celebrating health care workers and frontline workers today, and all the multimedia platforms. So
thank you.
Big ups to her.
All the doctors, all the nurses who are facing it. We are fronting this thing for us. We are grateful. We're going to support you guys with prayers and with anything necessary. We're really, really grateful. So don't forget to follow me up, on the social media handles, and subscribe on the YouTube as Stonebwoy. And let's get this thing pumping. Thank you for accepting Amloga Junction. Meet me at Amloga Junction. Yeah, man. Let's have a party.
All right, we're going to organize a tour. Maybe a bus of 10 won't be bad after the whole lockdown.
Exactly.
We'll take a tour. Yeah. Actually,
Akpasia.
Ikadum Lalandia.
Indanyeshi. Now go day. Thank you.
Afo Nkela Georgie. Nkela Georgie.
Right now?
Yeah.
Like what type?
Okay. It's okay.
I got lost. I'm sorry.
Well, you don't go to the kitchen?
Oh, I do. I'm preparing some watching right now, I'm not sure.
Oh no, I don't think we have a great connection for this one, but we'll let it go. That's Stonebwoy, the man with the album Angloga Junction. Go and discover it if you haven't listened to it. Great tracks on this, 15 tracks on this album. But up next, and we ended with it, we're celebrating frontline workers. We want to say thank you to our frontliners. And today being May 1st, Workers' Day, it's also ACT. They've been relentless, fearless, and caring in their bid to overcome a daunting task. They are phenomenal in our fight against COVID-19. So join the multimedia group this morning at 8:19. We're doing the countdown to 8:19. We celebrate all of them. Wherever you will be, we will be clapping at 8:19. If you're driving, honk your horn and let's make some noise to appreciate the frontliners. We will do this on radio, on television, across board, social media, in our homes and cars, 8:19 a.m. Let's cheer and spur them on. Stay with us.
We know you've been badly affected by this virus, yet you defy the fear of the unknown to fight this virus on our behalf. For this, we say thank you very much.
The nurses and doctors who go on to sacrifice each day, we just can't thank you enough.
We feel safe because we know you are there. Thank you all, our frontline health workers.
To every pharmacist, every doctor, every nurse, and those of you who work at the hospital or isolation centers, we love you. Don't give up.
To all frontline health workers, the fate of humanity depends on you. We thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we told you we're celebrating our frontline workers. And please, it doesn't only have to be a nurse or a doctor, because there are many people on the front line who are working. We have the security service personnel, we have members of the ambulance team or ambulance service, we even have wardens at the hospitals, those who are dispatch riders, and those who even work at the research institutions or in academia or the ministries. They are making sure that all of us are doing what we have to do perfectly and keeping our environment and our society as safe as it could be, so that we're able to reduce the number of infections when it comes to coronavirus. And that is where we have to go first to the National Ambulance Service, where we have the Deputy Director for M&E National Ambulance Service, Mr. Yao Sai, and he's on the line. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. We also have the UGMC team with Dr. Daniel Soti as their lead, also on stream, and I can see a couple of nurses as well as other professionals who work with Dr. Soti in there. And Dr. Soti, can you do the introduction for us as well?
Yes. Dr. Daniel Soti, specialist on duty here. Dr. Abalos. Can you give a wave, Dr. Abalos? Yes, that's Dr. Abalos. And then we have Dr. Emma Adai also here. And then Dr. Nanadwa Semitiwa also here.
Yeah. Hi. Okay, we want to celebrate all of you. Indeed, we're celebrating many other workers, and even after talking to you, we'll still go onto the streams and speak to you. And let's start with you, Dr. Soti, and the rest of Abba and all of you there. Now, I would want the ladies to speak first, so if it's possible, because I love the ladies also being put at the forefront, because then it says as the example as it is. But what sometimes are some of the emotional turmoils that you have to go through each day when you want to get yourself ready for work? Let me start with, it could be anybody, about any of them.
So, you know, it's like you said rightly, it's an emotional turmoil to get up in the morning and, you know that you are leaving your family, going out into the field to expose yourself more or less, to put, yourself at risk. But it's your job, and it's, what you have to do, and you have a passion for it. So you put up a brave face and take precautions, and you go and do what you need to do.
And then I have to ask you, Doctor, who is sitting next to you, Doctor?
This is Dr. Adai.
Okay, Dr. Adai. Now, Dr. Adai, I've read many reports internationally about medical doctors, professionals, researchers, nurses who sometimes have committed suicide or have just taken their life because the situation is just unbearable. In such instances, when you know that you can relate to such situations, the clinical situations, how does that make you feel? How even do you communicate that to those around you, your family, etc., for them to be in tandem in understanding?
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, it's always hard to read or hear about colleagues around the world getting to that point where they take their own lives. But as Dr. Abba said, you simply take each day, like you take it one day at a time. That's about all you can do. You take each day at a time, take each day as a new day with new challenges, and try to handle things one day at a time, because the challenge comes when you heap on the stress, when you add on all the emotional trauma and everything that you are seeing, and then it becomes a lot on you and you cannot deal with it. So you try that by the close of each day, you try and just go to bed, wake up the next morning and just tell yourself, this is a new day. When you are in war, there are battles, but there's the war, and you cannot let one battle prevent you from going through the rest of the war. Another thing we do is we encourage each other a lot. We support each other. We depend on each other. So we talk to each other when we have challenges, and then we encourage each other. As we say, it's teamwork.
Yeah.
So on days down, you can talk to a colleague, tell them what you are going through. They understand. And then our family support systems too are very crucial, not just family, all our support systems, church, other groups, So a word of encouragement from time to time, a prayer here and there, and things like this that you are doing for us, they go a long way to push us, to support us, to know that somebody's got our backs. You know, for me personally, prayer is also very key. Our relatives, when they hear of these things, of course, people get scared. Then they call you and say, hey, we heard a doctor or a nurse here committed suicide or did this. And then naturally they are concerned. But what we can do is to reassure them and tell them that we are taking things one day at a time. And we believe that we'll sail through this. You have to have a lot of faith.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is what we're doing here at the Multimedia Group. We're 25 years today, and we want to celebrate not only all those who have passed through this great institution, but just to signify the first time that we had Joy FM, which was the initial subsidiary that went on air. But before we do that, I'll be in a minute. I would want the ambulance team to introduce themselves. I see 3 of them before we go do the countdown quickly as possible. Ambulance team, can you do that? Who is leading and who are the others supporting? Yeah, just mention your names quickly and then we'll do a clap. And then let's see. Okay. Okay, so we're clapping for all of you. Dorothy Kwashi is Executive Director for Elegant Homes. She's also on stream. Auntie Doris, we say that for all the things that you do, congratulations to you for great work also being done, Dorothy. Thank you. Okay. Now, let me go back to my UGMC experts. Now, before I come to Dorothy, who has just taken a seat? It's Ludina. Ludina. Okay, Ludina. A critical fairness. Yes, please. So, on a normal day, what's your work like within this period? Well, currently, here on our shift, and depending on the needs of our patients, we go in averagely twice per shift, and we will spend between 2 to 4 hours inside the IC, depending on what our patients' needs are like. There's always the opportunity for you to know that you can always excel at what you do, but knowing that this is a time where each encounter of a case puts you closer to an unknown plane or place, what goes to your mind each day when you're treating such patients? Well, I'll say that we've been well trained for things like this, though we haven't had a pandemic of this kind in our part of the world before. Rely on the skills I've been taught over the years, and I do as I've been taught, and to the best of my ability. Yeah. Okay. Now we have Mrs. Dorothy Kwashi. She is Executive Director for Elegant Homes, also joining us on Zoom. She would want to say some words of encouragement to you, and also have to add, if she gets to appeal to you to buy some of her homes, it won't be bad. Elegant Homes, I've seen their drawings and their sites. They're very beautiful. So, Dorothy, please, you have the space. You can say all the encouraging words to our frontline workers we have on stream, on Zoom.
Hello, good morning, Roland. And I want to say to our frontliners that Elegant Homes appreciates their hard work. To all our doctors, our nurses, our paramedics, our lab technicians, to our cleaners, our security agencies, the media, and to everyone out there for your sacrifices, contributions, and working tirelessly around the clock fighting COVID-19. We say a very big thank you. One Danyashi.
Thank you, Dorothy Kwashi. Mrs. Dorothy Kwashi is Executive Director.
And just in case you need houses from Elegant Platform Liners, a special discount for the great work that we are doing for Madagascar. God bless you all.
Well, yeah, I've seen Dr. Dai there clapping. Dr. Dai, what are you clapping for?
I mean, I'm grateful to her for the special discount she mentioned.
Yeah.
I think I'm clapping on behalf of all of us, all the health workers, the paramedics. I think we're all happy about the special discount.
Yeah. Charlie, but seriously, you guys need to ask of the prices, so the way you're clapping. The way you're clapping and knowing how.
I should take you to our call.
All right. And knowing how nurses are paid, Charlie, ask of the prices. But Auntie Dorothy, we thank you so much for the help and the discount pricing scheme that you have specially designed for the frontline workers. And Abdullah is among the team of men of the ambulance service. And Abdullah, let me ask you, you're supposed to be a Muslim, or are you a Muslim? So you're fasting, aren't you?
I am.
Okay, great. Yeah. Now, what usually are your special prayer mentions to Allah within this period?
With this period, our prayer is God to save us from this and take these diseases away from us. This is the first time we are facing such a pandemic, and it's wow when we are praying that may Allah save us from this, take it away from us, and let's live our normal life. That's our prayers. we do almost all Muslims, including the chief imam, that the prayer says this pandemic should move away from us and all over the world.
Have you been transporting some COVID cases?
Very, very, very. We almost, I can't actually give you a number, but we transported a lot. Almost getting to 600 to the various isolation centers.
Hey, then
yes.
Then for your paramedics, can I speak to a paramedic?
Before you do that,
we are all paramedics.
Okay, great.
But I have a curious question as you're fasting, because this is the fasting period. So how are you managing the fasting and your regular work?
Yeah, with the fasting, the job has come, and you can't run away from it because you are going to fast. I'm fasting whilst I'm doing this job. So I can't run away from it. I'm called to duty, and I must perform to my perfection. Yes.
Great. Well,
so when you are in the vehicle and you're transporting a COVID case, of course you've been trained, but of course you're human. Your human side, which one comes out?
I think Officer Nat will answer that question for me.
Please, Officer Nat, get straight away close to the mic.
Okay, can you hear me?
Sharp.
Good. Even though we are trained, sometimes you can panic, but you always tell yourself that, man, I can do it. I have to do it for God and country. If I don't save these people, they'll go out there and infect a lot more. And it can't get to my family. So I have to do what I can do, keep myself safe, keep my patient safe, send my patient to the isolation centers, and then ensure that they are taken care of.
Yes. Now let me go to my UGMC professionals, and I'll go to Dr. Dai. Dr. Dai is there. Dr. Dai, I can see here, right? I think I'm taking you with Dr. Dai, so sorry about that. But Dr. Dai, I know that for many of you, immediately you get into that big yard, you don't come out until your shift is over. Is that not it? And by the time,
that's right.
And by the time you get home, you're tired. Okay. You're emotionally stressed. Okay. Okay. Now, we are those who go out there. We know what is in town. Sometimes people don't wear the masks. They don't go according to the protocols, washing hands quickly. They congregate in numbers that they are not supposed to. And we see all that we show to you by way of content in the news. When you hear of these things and you are closer to the cases at the hospital, how do you feel about it?
So this is something we talk about every day. As you said, we are most of the time busy working on the patients. We are not able to at the same time go out and educate people. So we are grateful to you, the media, and all who are making that extra effort to educate people. And it's sad for us when we hear stories like people still don't believe the virus is around, or people are too relaxed and do not want to adhere to their precautions. I mean, we wish we could stop work and go around and shake everybody to know that this is real, but we can't do that because we have to take care of the patients. So now that we have this platform, we want that this is real. We come to work every single day because of this, and we see what we see is what we see. Nobody there is making any of this up. So we are serious when we say to the nation that everybody should adhere to their safety precautions. And you see, these are things that are not out of our reach. Hand washing with soap and running water, wearing the face mask, and the social distancing that most people struggle to do. These are not normal times. We understand that this is not something we are all used to. We the health workers. It's not normal times. But if we want this to go so that our lives can get back to normal, then we all have to adhere to the safety precautions. Because if we adhere to it and others do not, then the chain is broken and we'll still all get infected. You see? So we are each other's keeper. As you said, we also hammer on it to everybody. Please, we appeal to you. This work is not easy. These times are not easy for everybody, for us here and for you at home. And we do not want this to get out of hand. We do not want it to get to the levels we are seeing in other countries. We want to get rid of this virus and get rid of it now. And for that to happen, we need each and every one of us to play our part. You understand? Nobody can wash their hands and wash your hands for you. So you have to do it yourself. So let's take every opportunity we get to encourage anybody in a small area or a small circle, or anybody who will listen. Let's drum it in till it's like a rhyme, till it's part of us, and it comes to stay. Very, very simple things. We are not asking you to do anything too advanced. So please, people, take this serious. We beg you. We are not happy to see anybody die. We are not happy to see the virus affect families and affect the nation. We've all seen how the economy is going. We've seen the effects. So many things have come to a standstill. And like you at home, we all want to get back to life as normal. There are so many things we also. So please, let's wash our hands. Let's turn over a new leaf today. For those who have not been listening, we beg you, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for anybody you care about. So that at the end of the day, we will all win this battle together.
Great, yeah. Can I also hear from your nurse? And I want to find out how, as a nursing team, your entire lives have changed and the routine, even in the hospital, around this time. So, in like about a minute, can you take us through what has changed in your routine?
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm a critical care nurse. So, aside the fact that we are doing extra hours and then extra duties, because if you enter as a nurse, you are not just going to do normal nursing duties. You are going to clean the floor. You are going to do things that are not necessarily in your practice. And then aside the fact that you go home, you are not able to share quality times with your families, and a lot has really changed. A lot has really changed. You go home, you can't do the normal things that you used to do. You can't go to places that you used. Your neighbors are running away from you. They call you to greet you, but they don't want you to visit them as you normally do. A lot has changed.
And just that bit that you described in terms of the reaction, how does it make you feel, knowing that what you're doing really is to save our lives, and that's how we treat you?
I think it's more about education. So I just use the opportunity to educate them that me visiting them or they visiting me wouldn't make them get the disease. But if we adhere to the precautions, we all be safe. For me personally, I think it's fear for them. So I don't really hold it against them. I just try to educate them.
Okay. All right. Listen, we know the incredible things that you're doing, the many things that naturally should not be your core duties, but you're breaking your backs and you're doing this. We can't pay you enough. I mean, we can't give you cash. But we want you to know that we appreciate your effort. We acknowledge what you're doing. We see it. And we want to share your stories with the rest of the world. So on behalf of everybody at the Multimedia Group, all of us, and I guess our viewers as well, we thank you. And once more, we want to clap for you. The ambulance service as well, this also goes out to you. Thank you for joining us here on our show today. We love you. We love you.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the team there that we've spoken to, and we do this on behalf of all of you watching as well. Let them know if you know any worker, anybody who is on the front line right now who is doing work and the person is your neighbor. Please reach out to them, send them messages, show them love, because what they do is not something that anybody at all could do. They've been trained to do some other things, but they're going the extra mile.
As we celebrate 25 years of media excellence, we say thank you. We also want to use this opportunity to say thank you to all our frontline workers for their hard work and dedication. Hashtag Grateful Hearts, hashtag Asada.
All right, you're still here on the AM show, right here on Joy News. Joy FM, the multimedia group, 25 years, exactly today, 25 years ago, when Joy FM started operation. Well, we're taking you back. Let's join a person who started the Super Morning Show on Joy FM for the very first time. time, but not quite. Roland, you've got something to say?
Yes, and Moses Akrobotu, who works with the Graphic Group Communications based in the Western Regional Capital of Takrady, sent me a number of names. But before then, my own Salifu Combat, you're the boss of primary healthcare pharmacy at the Boku Presbyterian Hospital. You're also at the forefront of this, both on the private side and at the public side. We say that kudos to you. Your wife also works at the border with the Ghana Immigration Service at Misiga. We also say to her and her colleagues, we encourage them to do what they are doing. But look, we don't have to forget Dr. Imanola Chu Dodo, who is a Deputy Director for Clinical Care, the Western Region, and then Dr. Joseph Anson and Dr. Joseph Kojo Tambil, all of the Regional Referral Hospital at Ifiang Kwanta, and the entire members and staff at the frontline service for this COVID fight at Ifiang Kwanta Regional Hospital. We say that congratulations to all of you and keep moving on. And also Dr. Frank Agbemoji and your entire team, you're at the Hafasini Government Hospital. We say that congratulations to you. The team at the Tema General Hospital, Dr. Adupo, we have Dr. Chum, a couple of them, all of them, especially at the accident emergency or the adult emergency. We also say that we encourage you to keep doing what you're doing this morning. Dr. Dabo Sarkodie, also we encourage you to do what you have to do. And Dr. Essien Beidu, who is a microbiologist, has been on the
Chum came to my house. I wasn't there, and I think he left a message that if I could meet him at Laboni coffee shop. I didn't know who he was, you know, so it's like, who am I going to look for? But he was very much on time, and he pointed me out, you know. So we met at a coffee shop and said, oh, he wanted us to meet in Colonel Dan Chum's house, you know, I think about a week or so. So I agreed. But prior to that, I was told in GVC rumors that there was going to be a private radio station. Skepticism fell into my mind because I never thought, you know, with the advent of GVC and what was currently going on in the country, that we'll be allowed to start private radio. But hitherto, it happened, we met, and that was basically how Kwesi and I met. And so I would say that was the very beginning of the beginning of Joy FM.
What did you think of him when you first met him?
He was such, well, he is such a very cool, calm, collected person. I'll be very honest, I don't think I've ever seen Kwesi get angry, you know, as in flare up or anything like that. He's always maintained a very calm way of speaking. Even if you flare up, you know, it doesn't really have an effect on him. So very unassuming, good sense of humor, gentleman.
So you agreed to become a member of the team, and it all kicked off. But this was an experiment. It hadn't been done before, private radio, commercial radio. It can't have been easy, you know, feeling your way through to create something out of nothing.
Well, you know, life itself is a risk. You could walk down the road, 10 seconds, you drop dead. Everything is a risk. But then working with GBC, you knew at the time that you had your foot on the ground. You were covered, by way of this and that and that. GBC would hardly fire anybody for the slightest mishap or whatever it is. So you were protected, kind of. But then, having gone through the thought process of, wow, private radio in Ghana, is it going to work? People were very skeptical. Is it going to work? How long is it going to be in existence? Am I going to lose my job? All these things went through my mind. But I said to myself, there are two things that I'm looking at. Either I stay in the straitjacket kind of thing, or take the risk, go outside, start something. But I had the conviction that it was going to work because this was the first private, commercial radio station. So obviously, the support base was going to be huge. I took the risk, and voila. I can't fathom the fact that 25 years already. Wow. Great. I took the risk, but it was worth it.
I'm sure Ghana thanks you for taking that risk.
Amen.
Now, when it all began, the team, that original team, were behind a lot of what we enjoy on radio today, the programming, the designs of the shows, even the names of the shows that we listen to. Many of them were created by you and the rest of the team. Tell us about that process.
Excuse me. We were virtually lost, but we were determined to at least start with something. So Kwesi, the late Dusty Wayne, and myself met in my living room. 3 huge bowls of fufu that would set us, starting the discussion. Of course, with pens and paper. So whilst we were, chopping, we were coming up with ideas and stuff like that. So everything was done in the sitting room, but we had a battle trying to start up the morning. We came up with the morning show, the Joy morning show, AM on Joy FM, which was a little bit of confusion because we know AM is like morning.
Yeah.
But then eventually we settled for the Super Morning Show. Then Kwesi looked at Accra itself being a cosmopolitan area, and so we settled in for the cosmopolitan mix. And then I adapted lunchtime rhythms from a program I was doing on GBC, switched the name. And then we're looking at block programming, 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. And then drive time, realized that people were going to go home at a particular time, which was illegal anyway, because you're not supposed to go home before 5 anyway. But anyway, we came up with all the programs. In between that, we had an hour to spare, and so we came up with the DJ's choice. That's where Azigiza Jr. came in. Yeah. Said, okay, it's your 1 hour. You choose whatever music you want, entertain the people. And so that's how we got the entire programming for Joy FM. It was an amazing, we were there for I don't know how many hours, and so we kept that until we started the test transmission.
Now, you've mentioned Dusty Wayne, you've mentioned DJ Azigiza, of course, Cosmopolitan Mix, it became Doreen Ando's baby. Who else was on that original team?
There was Marco Kreku Mante, there was Cox Tamaklo, there was this gentleman, he's now on Peace FM, Joe Diggy, Jody Graft Akins. Honestly, 25 years is a long time to be able to remember, but we had a fantastic team, a team that was inseparable. And I don't know how it came about, because everybody was attached to one another. We hardly had fights. We had arguments or differences, but the team was such a formidable team. You couldn't break it, no matter what you did. And so I guess that was, if I should say, the boiling point of Joy FM starting, because the thing of it was, we needed to compete amongst one another. But I would not come and say, Kojo, yesterday's show, I did it better than you did, so let's see what you can do. That would be a little intimidating. But the competition was such that anytime we did a post-mortem, the agrees and don't agrees set it in place for the next morning's program. So in each other's mind is like, this guy or this lady did a good show. Let me see if I can do better. And so the honors, lay on us to climb a step every single day. Climb a step every single day. And for me, as the first presenter on the air, I've always had this notion of, if I sound this way today, how am I going to sound tomorrow, the next day? Because if you're doing a super morning show Monday to Friday, it's extremely difficult. Because on Monday you got to sound different, Tuesday you got to sound different, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No matter what problems you had, you leave them outside Joy FM. Go do your program, you finish, then you can pick up your problems, okay? So your introduction to every super morning show had to be different so that you would not sound repetitive or predictable. That was my style. And so everybody else picked it up. You couldn't tell who was going to do what or say what on the air, and that was the interesting part. And so you would keep people, hey, today what's he going to sound like? What's Doreen going to sound like? How's Mark going to sound like? The jokes, the humor amongst all of us. Newspaper review, somebody fires a shot. We take the mickey out of the person, on air in such a way that if you're not careful, you would crash your car from laughter.
So Tommy and enforcing their Uncle Tommy, reliving those days. Now, he is actually hosting the Super Morning Show on Joy FM right now. So we'll take you there live to the studio of Joy 99.7 FM. That's him there. Hosting the Super Morning Show. Let's hear what they're doing.
He has a lot of memories. So started with test transmission, chopping second in a Milo competition with our late brother Komla Dumont, winning a Valentine lunch from Doreen Andor, being interviewed by Samens to be a rover reporter, selecting tracks in the studio with Tommy and Anforsen on Jazz on Joy, participating in Home Affairs.
I never did Jazz on Joy. Oh, sure.
Numerous participation in old school reunions at Trade Fair, being part of the Roverman family by listening to the SMS, glad knowing DJ Black, DJ Azigiza Jr., Kwesi Sapon, Fifi Kumsin, Anio Sabote, Stephen Anti on Joy News Channel, etc. He said, even my radio knob got rusty because it was never tuned from 99.7. That's William Ngomwa. Hooray! My favorite radio station is 25 years today. Congratulations and many thanks to everyone who has made this possible, from those who started to those who have continued up to this 25-year milestone. That's from Papa Tieku in Kofodwa. Now, Hilda says, how you sign off.
I love you all, especially
you. It makes you feel special.
When you talked about Azigiza, you know what comes to mind?
What?
I think it was one of these World Cup things, and he was doing a DJ special, a DJ's selection on Joy, and Portugal scored one, so we had to go and give him the result. Be a mic now. Say, the Portuguese have scored. Where Portuguese pa? Azigiza regretted that day ever since, saying the Portuguese have won. Portuguese pa. Anyway, it's one of the things. He was loading his mother. Please continue.
Okay. Happy birthday, Joy FM. Don Mickey from Adringano says it would have been so nice to hear Komla Dumont's voice this morning. And of course, we cannot remember our achievements.
He said whose voice this morning?
Komla Dumont.
This morning.
Yeah, he's saying it would have.
How's old fan, Uncle Tommy there, Tommy and Enforcing, and back in the day. For those of us, yeah.
Where were you 25 years ago, Roland Walker? How old was I 25 years ago?
Hey, Roland,
how old were you? Oh, you were grown. Yeah.
Oh, 25.
You were a man.
20.
You were not?
No, I was not. 25 years ago, I was 16 years, I believe, yeah.
How old was I? Oh, my God. Like, I'm shy, but...
I think you'll be around 11. Yeah, appropriately 11.
Really?
10, 11.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying. It's our special 25th anniversary. Joy really is the reason Joy News was birthed. So we celebrate Joy FM and, of course, our mother, the multimedia group. And we say thank you to all those who have built this brand, those who started from the beginning, those who paved the way for us to be here on Joy News today. We thank you for your company on the show. We hope that we've made your holiday, you know, we've made you forget a bit about your issues and all the COVID, the numbers and everything. Rola, we should go. I didn't talk too much.
Well, definitely. Please keep watching and stay glued to the channel throughout the rest of the day. Have a great holiday.
We love you.